Ah. What's up, shitheads? It's Ryan and Travis, sort of back with another episode of Dudes Talking Shit. This is episode number 54.
I'm sick.
He's got corona.
Not actually. I don't actually have corona, but
Do you think it might be, though? Because you haven't been tested since you started getting all sick.
Yeah, so I got tested on Wednesday and I was negative, but I can't see me getting COVID between then and now and symptoms developing that quick. But if I'm still feeling like shit tomorrow, I'm going to go and get another test.
How many tests have you had now?
I've had 3.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. I had to do fucking 2 of them back to back this week, like on the same day. We're talking like within like a 3-hour period.
Dude, it took them forever to get your results back.
Oh, there's still people that haven't gotten them.
That's crazy. One of our buddies was saying he did a COVID test and the results just never came. Like, he did a COVID test because he has young children.
Yeah.
And so he went to do it just because there was a big outbreak in the schools. And it just never came back. And now he had no symptoms. Like, he was literally just testing out of precaution at like a rapid site.
Yeah.
But it never came back. Then he went and got another test when we had a little scare at work, and that one came back.
Yeah, dude, it was fucking absolutely retarded, the process of getting your results back.
Oh, yeah.
So for anyone listening, there's when you get a test here, at least in Nova Scotia, there's 3 ways that you can get your results back. Sometimes they'll email you. Sometimes you'll get an actual call. I'm guessing an actual call probably means you're positive. And then you'll get an automated call as well. Sometimes, now that automated call could be that you're positive or could be that you're negative. But it seems like all the emails are negative. All the real calls are positive is kind of how it, from what I'm understanding.
And for the rapid test, they'll text you.
Right. So I had to get a test and they didn't email me. And then they gave me an automatic call, like an automated version says, "Hello, this is Nova Scotia Health. Press 1 if this is your name," or whatever. So I did that, and it was like the phone number that showed up was just a normal number. It didn't have like a 1-800 number. The caller ID didn't populate as Nova Scotia Health or anything. So I kind of didn't think it was real, but I'm like, whatever. Then nothing hurts yet. Pressing 1 for yes, that's my name, and then it asks for the last 4 of my health card, and I was like, all right, well, fucking scrambling around to try to find that. Like, who the fuck knows the last 4 of their health card? So then I type in the last 4. It says it wasn't correct, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe I misheard it, and it was the first 4. So I type that in, and it hangs up on me, and it's like, the information you entered is incorrect. We'll try again in 24 hours, and then it hangs up. So I'm looking at my health card, and there's I have an Ontario one, not a Nova Scotia one, and it's a series of letters and numbers. So when I typed in the last 4, I used the number that correlates with the letter. Like 1 is ABC, or 2 is ABC, whatever, So that's what I did, and it was wrong. So then when I'm like, what the fuck? There's no number to call back. There's no 1-800 number that can actually get through to anybody. So there's just nothing. I'm just sitting on hiatus, and I just got to sit on, antsy. It's like I don't have anxiety very much from anything, but my God, sitting there waiting for a phone call that could come anytime within 24 hours is fucking annoying. I was scared to, go take a shit. I was scared to fucking get in the shower. I'm like, what the fuck, man? This is stupid.
Did you get a lot of delivery to the house?
Like food?
Yeah.
No, I already had all my food here.
Oh, right. You're doing the chef's plate thing. How are you finding that?
I already canceled the subscription.
Oh, really? Not that into it?
Nah, you know what? It's just I find the food's all very light food. It's not I like heavy meals. I like something that's kind of thick, like steak and potatoes and burgers, like pizza, something that's legitimate, that I have to chew.
Stick to your ribs food.
Yeah, I found all their food was it was delicious. It was a cool concept and idea, and I'm into it. It's just it's not the kind of food for me. It was all
Yeah.
stuff that like I basically needed a fork and knife for everything, but the knife is there just to like scoop stuff onto the fork. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like picture a pasta that isn't right hearty. That
Yeah.
they were all like little like nibble things like that. Plus, I found the portion sizes too small for me.
Yeah.
Probably proper for a normal person, but I'm not normal.
Yeah. You're also like a big person in general, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I can fucking eat if I want to. And
yeah.
that was the one thing I found kind of irritating. Plus, I looked through their entire menu, and honestly, like if I was at a restaurant, I would have to like settle for everything. Everything was a settle for.
Yeah.
There was nothing I would have looked at a menu if I was sitting in a restaurant and there was 5 pages of menu or whatever. Whatever I ended up ordering, I settled for it. And I found that's all they had was things I would have settled for. Nothing I would have been like, oh fuck, that's what I want.
And back to the COVID test again. Like,
Mm.
did you find? So you were just like in a constant state of watching your phone.
Yeah, and listening for emails. It was fucking
Right.
annoying. Like anytime my phone made any noise, I was like jumping on it because like I was like being delayed. I wasn't allowed to go back to work. I wasn't like
Yeah.
I because I was in that like purgatory stage. I wasn't allowed to leave my house. I had to like self isolate. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Even though I had no symptoms and I was convinced I was gonna be negative, it was just like
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything, so I couldn't really go out. I needed a couple things from the like pharmacy, just like shaving cream and bullshit like that. But like
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything. I'm like, what the fuck? Like what happens if like randomly someone just fucking hits me, you know? I had nothing to do with it. Cops got to identify me. And then one of the questions that they ask everyone now is, have you been tested recently? And then where's your results? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, fuck, I don't got nothing. I'll get fucking fined or charged for being out and breaking public health protocol or whatever.
That's right. Yeah.
I actually couldn't do anything and go anywhere. So
And
that was super frustrating.
yeah, that is massively. My one of our buddies actually just moved here from Newfoundland. He just got here yesterday,
Yeah.
and he had to get a letter of exemption from the government that he was allowed to move in because he had a lease signed before they imposed the full border lockdown. Like, you're not even allowed to move to Nova Scotia right now.
Wow. Well, that's kind of good for certain areas.
Yeah, but that will all hopefully open back up soon.
Yeah. I was driving past your neighborhood the other day and there was some
Yeah.
fucking Subaru pulling into that neighborhood loaded with shit in the back. Like as if they were just moving here and they had British Columbia plates. And
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet that they just bought a random house sight unseen and moved into that neighborhood because they
Oh, dude. The amount of Ontario and Quebec plates in this neighborhood right now is insane. And American plates. Like, there's a couple of cars here from New Jersey, a couple from Texas,
holy fuck.
one from Montana.
That's fuck. Did you know in New Jersey they're not allowed to pump their own gas?
Excuse me?
Yeah, it's only full serve in New Jersey. You're not. It's actually like a law. It's not just like a way of life or whatever.
Why?
I don't know. There's somewhere else in the United States it's like that too. I'm probably gonna be completely off by saying this, but I feel like it's like Portland or something like that. There's some.
Oh, there we go.
There's somewhere
You,
else.
you cut out for a second.
Oh, there's
You're
somewhere.
good though now.
Yeah, there's somewhere else in the United States that you can't as well. I want to say it's like Portland, but I'm probably completely wrong about that. But I am convinced that in New Jersey you're not allowed to pump your own gas. And New Jersey.
That is so weird.
Yeah, I know. New Jersey's a pretty populous state too, right? So,
Yeah.
the wild thing is like people travel, like they road trip, they go rent a car when they're in Florida with the family, and they don't know what to do when they get to a gas station. So a lot of the time when you see those Instagram videos or those YouTube fails of people at gas stations and just don't know what they're doing, they have a somewhat legitimate excuse. I'm gonna Google it. States.
Yeah, because there's some places that, yeah, if they grew up like in New Jersey and have never pumped your own gas, going to a full serve or a self-serve station would be completely foreign.
Oh, I was right. I said Portland because I kind of was under the impression it was like within the city limits, like.
Yeah.
But it's actually the whole state of Oregon.
You can't pump your gas.
Yeah, Oregon and New Jersey, you're not allowed.
That is so strange. I can't imagine having to wait on someone to pump my gas. I feel like that would add so much unnecessary time, especially with pay at the pump and everything.
Yeah, I don't know how that all works. In all honesty, I really don't. I don't know how it speeds up or slows things down.
Like you must have an attendant per pump. Now, the only way I could see it speeding it up is that instead of people paying for like going into the store and leaving their car next to the pump,
Yeah.
like that would speed it up. But I feel like most people do pay at the
No,
pump now,
dude.
anyways.
So you didn't know this, I guess. You've never road tripped in America, did you?
No.
So in the states that you can pump your own gas, when you pull up to a pump,
Yeah.
if you aren't paying at the pump, like when you do the pay and then you pump,
Yeah.
if you're not doing that, like you're going in because you're also grabbing a Red Bull or whatever,
Yeah.
like you have to go pay first. You have to go in first and you're like, yeah, I'm at pump 3, give me $20. And then they'll load it on the pump basically, and then you go out and you can just pump and it just turns off after the $20.
What? That's so stupid though. What if you're like
It's not a
filling your car?
Yeah, they're not it's all guessing. They're not a trusting country because so many people in that country would just drive away and not go in and pay. Like that's
Right.
that's a concept that we don't understand here in Canada because we're like pretty nice people overall. But down
Yeah.
there that's not a thing. Like you go in if you could pull up to a 7-Eleven or whatever gas station, you literally
Yeah.
you go in, you say I'm on pump 5, give me $50, and then you go out and you pump your $50, it turns off, and you get in your car and just drive away.
That is so annoying. Now, because pay a pump, you can't do like you do the pre-authorized amount.
Right.
Maybe it's something like I'm sure it's something like that now in some places.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. I'm sure like they have pay at the pump as well, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that maybe that's not like United States wide, but that's in most places that you
That's fun.
that you just tell them how much you want and then you start pumping it. I don't know.
Yeah.
People think that's fucking weird that we're allowed to pump
Dude.
the gas on our own free will. But
I'll always remember the scene in like Trailer Park Boys where Ricky's like, "Give me $2 in gas."
he's like, "Do you want me to fill it up?" "No, I don't want you to fill it up. Give me $2." Yeah, he's with like Lucy or something, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Oh, so funny. God, $2 almost wouldn't even get you a liter anymore.
No, it wouldn't get you fuck all.
No.
Dude, I watched a documentary the other day on Netflix,
Sure.
and it got me thinking because it was a pretty interesting kind of question. Well, so I'm gonna ask. So it's not even anything crazy fucked up. Let's say you're walking along the beach like alone. There's absolutely nobody around you in sight. There's no one. Like it's early morning or something like that. Okay.
Right.
You're walking along the beach and you find a huge package that washed up on shore, and it has about 32 kilograms of cocaine in it.
Ooh.
What would you do with that? Would you turn it in and essentially just get a fucking thank you? Or would you do this once in a lifetime opportunity and try to find a way to sell it? Because that's about $2 million on the street. Like, what would you do there?
Wow. I would probably turn in the vast majority of it and keep a couple, maybe like a third of it for myself to try and resell, and be very sneaky about it. Because if you turned in a massive amount of cocaine that you found, there would never be any suspicion against you.
Right.
So that's what I would kind of like. I know that's a bit of a cheating answer, but kind of like a combination of both.
No, that's not a bad answer at all. That's actually kind of smart. I was thinking turn it in because I don't really know how to sell that much cocaine, first of all.
Yeah, well, that's why I wouldn't want the whole thing either, because it'd definitely be a learning process.
But it would be one of those weird things where, like, because it's a once in a lifetime thing, like, how often does this free $2 million land on your lap? You just got to do a little bit of work to get that money.
Yeah.
So I would just be, for your answer, the only thing, like, it's a good answer. I would just be fearful of the fact that if I sell that 1/3 and I realize how much money I had, I'm like, fuck, I gave so much away though. Like instead of having $500,000, I could have had $2.2 million.
Man, that's you know what? This comes back to a valuable lesson that our Kuwaiti friend taught me.
Okay.
Me and him talk a lot about stock market trading and like cryptocurrency trading.
Yep.
And his philosophy is that, because with stock trading and crypto trading, like there's always like the seed of greed that sits with you
Of
to
course.
like not sell at a high. Like you're like, oh, it might go higher. Like I want to make as much as possible. And you get in this greedy mentality. And his whole thing is like take profit where you can because greed is never going to win.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, if you're greedy in that situation, like, or you would just need to have the mentality going into it of like give most of it to the cops, keep a little bit to sell, don't be greedy about it, and make your money and move on.
So when it comes to like things like drug charges and all that too,
Yeah.
this is where my mental battle would probably start. After a certain amount of coke, like I don't know how much, but
Oh, not much.
I'm willing to bet it's a small amount. There's probably a mandatory sentence,
Yeah.
and I'm willing to bet that like that sentence doesn't change whether you have 2 kilos or 50 kilos. Like
Oh, dude.
so that's when it would be like, okay, if I turn a bunch in and then try to sell it and get caught, you lose money,
Yeah.
and you also get the same sentence as if you had have just fucking blown your load and sold the whole thing and made a ton.
I Yeah. I think, yeah, first of all, you definitely get charged with trafficking. I bet with anything over like a quarter of a kilo, I bet you get charged with trafficking.
Oh, I'm betting it's even less than that. I don't know, but
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe even like, yeah, I would say like a quarter. Yeah. Definitely that would be trafficking. And, yeah, that is like the hard battle to have with yourself is like, do you just go for it and try and sell it all? Or do you try and play it smart? If you play it smart and still get busted, was it even worth it?
and you also got to think too, if the more you save and successfully sell, the more money you have to pay for that lawyer when you get busted. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If
that's
you
right.
only make a couple $100,000 off it because you've turned in so much, then all of a sudden the lawyer you can reasonably afford is a much shittier lawyer than if you got $1.5 million and turned the difference in.
What is let me just see, present street value kilo of cocaine?
I don't know. I'm willing to bet. Depends on how much it's stepped on. I'm guessing. Then again, you only get one shot, so.
Oh my God, the United Nations has like a whole graph out about it. Holy shit.
So
Oh no, where are my glasses? This is challenging.
my starting example was 32 kilos. So how much is 32 kilos?
So I can't find the price for Canada.
Kilos of
What, this can't be accurate.
kilos. Whoa, why am I spelling kilos wrong? Oh my God, yeah, I'm on that. I'm looking at that right now.
Cocaine wholesale prices per U.S. kilogram. Cocaine retail prices U.S. per gram.
So
Okay.
I'm
So
not.
in 2010,
Yeah,
cocaine in the United States was $169 a gram on the street.
that's way too much, man.
Oh.
That's way too much.
That's way too much?
Yeah, that's way too much. Nobody spends $170 for a gram. A gram is legitimately like, if you know a guy, it's $70. If you don't, it's usually between 80 and 100.
Okay, so let's play it fair and let's say it's 8
Okay.
a gram, right?
Yeah.
So that would mean each kilo of cocaine is worth about $80,000.
Okay.
But obviously, you'd probably be wholesaling it. out to a dealer because you wouldn't want to deal with like dime bags.
Right. So you're probably looking at 50.
Yeah. So let's say you sell it to a dealer. I would even say on the low end of 40,000, just to because you want to get rid of it, right?
Yeah. So 40,000 times 32, that's 1.28 million.
Yeah, but let's say you only keep, I don't know, 10 kilos.
Okay.
That'd still be $400,000. That would be worth it.
So you're saying if you found a bunch of coke on the side on the beach, no one was around at all, so you're completely off scot-free, you would keep approximately, a portion of it and try to sell it?
Yes.
All right. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, why? Do you have a business opportunity?
No. Let's just say I was taking a walk on the beach the other day. And no, I definitely didn't, but I don't walk. But
you were on your scooter.
Yes, exactly. No, I saw a cool documentary of like a hidden treasure sort of an old wise tale thing, and it had that concept behind it, but it turned out to be fucking real. And
so what did they do?
So the guy, so not to give spoiler away, anyone that's watching or listening, the documentary, excuse me, the documentary was called something along the lines of like the Mystery of Cocaine Island or something along that.
Okay.
Type in cocaine and Netflix and it'll pop up. All right. So basically, some guy visited Puerto Rico years and years ago in the 70s during like the big coke boom in Miami and all that. He was walking along the beach one day and found a ton, like a huge package, all water sealed and everything. Thought it was money. Opened it up and realized it was a whole whackload of cocaine. Didn't know what to do with it, so he kept burying it in a different spot, like every night, sort of thing, like hoping no one would find it. When he finally realized, hey, no one's looking for this, like it's good. So he buried it in one spot, was just sitting on it for years, like maybe even 20 fucking years or longer, and then moved back to America from Puerto Rico. He was sitting around a campsite or like a neighborhood gathering, like a bonfire sort of thing, and he was kind of flopping his gums, going on about this, and then his friends kind of heard it, and then he kind of kept repeating this story, like anytime they'd get a few drinks into them and all that, about how he knew about this cocaine that was buried, and it was like, this is how much was there and everything. And no one really believed it because it was this far-fetched story, right, of a hidden treasure, like, So eventually, one of the people that kept hearing this, one of the neighbors, hit some hard times with the financial crisis of 2008, 2009 in America. Lost his business, lost their house, and like had to live in a double wide trailer instead of a fucking great big 3,700 square foot house and blah, blah, blah. And decided, hey, this is my ticket. If this guy's being legitimate, I can go dig up this cocaine, try to sell it, and make a bunch of money. So like, it was just a bit of a fantasy thing, but also like he was trying to look out for his family, like kind of legitimately. You got to like tip your hat to him for wanting to go to such lengths. So got to talking to the guy, found out where it was buried. Went down there. Oh, first of all, he found a drug dealer that was willing to sell it for him for a profit, for a cut of the deal, right? Which the guy was like, okay, that's still fair. I'm still walking out with more than $1 million. He's like, sure, okay, you'll be my guy that sells it, and I just got to get it back to America still. So now he's like figuring out, how do I like smuggle all these drugs in? Well, he finds a guy that was willing to do it and had a private plane and everything.
Right.
And they went down there, not the guy with the plane, just the some mule, like some helper basically, and this guy. They tried digging it up. They're in the exact spot where they believed it to be, but the ground was too hard to dig. They didn't have equipment and everything because it's not like there's a Walmart nearby in Puerto fucking Rico in like an isolated area where you can just walk up and buy a shovel. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have enough tools. They needed like a backhoe or something. Like, well, we can't do this. We're fucked. We can't dig through this ground. It's too stiff. So they go back home. Then they find out exactly, like they reconfirm with the guy who tells these wise tales of exactly where it would be located. And then they go to that guy with the plane and they said, listen, for an even bigger cut, why don't you just dig it up and bring it back yourself? Because you have a team of people that are Puerto Rican and willing to work and dig it up, and you've got the plane to bring it back. That way, I'm not going there, digging it up, hiding it again somewhere else for you to go find and then fly it back. You know, that way it's like, what's all this extra steps for? So he gets this guy to go down, doesn't hear from him, doesn't hear from him. Basically, this dude's kicking the main guy, right? The guy that hit hard times is hitting.
Yeah.
He's like, what the fuck? So I just lost out on all this coke that's potentially there or not. I'm maybe sent these guys on a wild goose chase. It's never gonna happen. The money's gone. It's a dream just out the window. All of a sudden, he gets a fucking email from the guy with the airplane that went down to Puerto Rico. It's just a picture. All it was just simply a picture of a bunch of fucking packages of cocaine in a hole in the ground. They fucking found it. They fucking
No.
found it. Few more days go by. All of a sudden, the guy's back in the United States. He flew it in successfully and everything. And they link up and they decide, okay, cool, we'll meet at this little restaurant or whatever that the guy with the airplane worked at,
Yeah.
or a corner store, or some sort of like little place that he worked at. Hard Times guy shows up there, goes the guy, and his name's Carlos, the Puerto Rican guy with the airplane, hands him a key and says, everything that is yours is in the trunk of that car right over there. Here's the key. Pull your car around, and grab it. So he goes, he does that. He looks around, nobody in sight. He's like, holy shit. Opens up the trunk. Huge fucking duffel bag of packaged cocaine that now he has to bring to his drug dealer, right? Because his drug dealer still has to turn that cocaine into money.
Right.
Grabs it all, puts it in the back of his truck. All of a sudden, he looks down, and there's a ton of fucking red dots on him. The fucking DEA and FBI and shit swarm out of fucking nowhere, and they fucking grab this guy. So the drug dealer that was supposed to sell all the drugs got pulled over right before this whole expedition, before they found out who was going to smuggle it in. And he was on his third strike in Florida. When you're on 3 strikes in Florida, you go to jail for life. That's it. That's just how it works down there. It's life in prison without parole because you've struck out 3 times. He cuts a deal where he doesn't get any prison time if he tips them off about a big drug deal. So instead of the drugs that he was caught with, he decides to tip him off on this fucking wild goose chase of a story. And the guy with the airplane that played this part for like 5 or 6 months is like, yeah, I'll smuggle it in for you, was a fucking FBI agent the whole time. So then, so anyway, it was all just a big setup. But here was the weird part when it got to court. The guy that was being charged didn't go dig it up. He didn't smuggle it in. And all he did was pick it up out of a vehicle that the FBI handed him a key and said, go take it out of that trunk and put it in your own. And he did that. So basically, it's like the most cut dry form of entrapment possible. Because although it was this concept, he legitimately did try to go get the drugs, but he fucking failed. You know what I mean?
Right.
An attempted murder is like 8 years in prison. A murder is life or death penalty. You know what I mean? So he did legitimately try to go get these drugs, but fucking failed and got 0, zip, zilch, nada. The FBI went down with this fucking drawn treasure map, like a fucking pirate's map with an X marks the spot, you know? And found it. It was fucking real. Brought it back. Anyway, when it gets to court, the judge looks at the case and says, like, well, we can't do it's not going to be considered entrapment here. For whatever reason, they determined it wasn't. But they realized the guy, like, clearly was fucking just living a dream and innocent and just fucking naive and all that. So they only gave him 60 days in prison where it was supposed to be like fucking 10 plus years minimum.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was a fucking wild story. The whole time I'm watching it, I don't even know what made me click on it, in all honesty. Because it didn't seem real. Because the way they did the documentary was a bunch of reenactments, but also like narration of the people actually involved, and it was mildly hard to follow at points, but I kept pulling me in because I'm like, this just seems so outrageous. This fucking hippie walking up and down the beach, I buried a bunch of cocaine there back in 1973, you know what? Anyway, it was wild. And it kind of got me thinking, like, what the fuck would I do if I found a whole bunch of, because like I have no clue how to cut that shit up, how to sell it. You know what I mean? It's not my gig. I don't have a fucking clue how to do all that and turn it into actual money. But at the same time, I would not want to just turn it in and be like, well, what if, you know?
Oh man, that would be like the hard dilemma between turning it in and just like it being over.
Yeah.
Or like the stress of trying to get rid of it would be insane.
I think the hard part too. Well, it depends because you're like it. At least with this guy in the movie, he wasn't selling it. All he did was find it and
Right.
set it off to the side. And this is the way the plan was supposed to work. Is he dug it up, was supposed to put it under like a bench or something, somewhere fucking easy to access but obsolete.
Yeah.
And then all he was supposed to do is legitimately hand it from the importer, like the smuggler, hand it to his drug dealer. His drug dealer was going to handle the rest of it completely on his own. So he
Right.
basically, hard times guy was just going to sit back and collect money. Now,
Yeah.
I don't have a trusting drug dealer that I could fucking get to sell it for. And I don't know if you do either, but I don't.
I don't.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have that. And I don't have like the skills to like where to sell it. Because you can't just fucking 1 gram at a time. You know how long it's going to take to fucking sell all that?
Man, I would also be nervous of, because when you started the process of trying to find a drug dealer,
Oh, there's definitely fucking fakes out there that are just like informants and all that.
so there'd be the risk of getting caught, and then there'd also be the risk of getting robbed.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as you say how much you have, like,
Yeah,
yeah,
because they would look at us and be like, "Oh, look at these pussies! Like these guys would
exactly.
be easy to rob."
Right. Yeah, this guy was lucky. So what he did before he hit those hard times and everything was he owned a construction company. So he
Right.
obviously employed some questionable people, like people fresh out
Yeah.
of prison and blah blah blah. Right. That's probably why
Yeah.
Buddy was already on strike too, when he
Right.
agreed to do that because he's like he knows he'll do it for a life changing amount of money. Anyway, I thought that was fucked up. I don't know what I would do. I'd probably do what the first guy did and sit on it for a while and really plan everything out. But I don't know if I'd sit on it for like 25 or 30 years or whatever the fuck it was. It was a long time anyway.
That is crazy. That is so long.
It went from like, I want to say like the 70s, like the mid to late 70s until like 2010 maybe?
Man, that guy got so close though.
Yeah.
But I guess like it's so crazy. Like we think he got so close, but then like how like the FBI orchestrated so much of it. Like the federal government helped him so much.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It turned out it wasn't in the same spot that they were digging though. So like it was just deeper underground. Like, 30 years goes by, the ground gets a little more packed.
Oh, for sure.
And it wasn't in soft soil because it was actually like it looks like a lot of construction had grown around there. Anyway, I didn't really think it was like I didn't. Oh man, it was a fucking wild story. It was only like an hour and a half documentary. It was probably worth the watch though. There was one
Man,
guy.
Netflix is so in on those true crime stories. They fucking love them.
It's all that fucking
It feels like
sells
there's
now.
a new one every week.
Yeah, it's wild. I'm trying to find
Yeah.
I'm trying to find more documentaries to watch because that sort of stuff compelled the hell out of me. That was exciting.
If Joe Exotic ever gets out of jail, do you think there will be a follow up to Tiger King?
Nah, I think that ship has already sailed and it's only been a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll be a news story for a day when he gets out.
Yeah.
TMZ and fucking USA Today and all that kind of shit. He'll be like maybe a 1 week news story about how he's out of prison, and then it'll just be gone. Like no one will fucking care anymore. I know
He'll probably do Dancing with the Stars.
maybe. Well, Carol Baskin just did, didn't she?
Yeah, like a year ago.
Yeah. I know right before Trump's term was over, he was looking at a bunch of pardons and stuff, and he was.
And that was one of them.
Yeah, apparently they actually did look at it.
Yeah. Man, that's so funny. Joe Exotic had like a fucking limo and everything booked and waiting outside the jail for him all day.
Fucking idiot. Man, that guy, for like, at least in North America, because I don't really know about the rest of the world, but at least in North America, for like a 3 or 4 week period, he was the single most famous person on the planet. Like, he was more famous than fucking anybody. Brad Pitt, fucking Conor McGregor, he was probably more famous for one short period than Donald Trump. He made everyone forget about Kobe Bryant completely. Kobe, what?
Yeah.
What? Isn't that what you just say when you throw like paper towards a garbage? Like,
Well, that was at that weird period too, like right at the beginning of COVID, where no one.
Hello?
Man, did you hear about this COVID-19? It's like, yeah, but Joe Exotic though, like Tiger King.
Yeah. No, it was fucked up.
It was. It's
Um,
absolutely fucked.
I had a little revelation.
What's that?
If you like, a lot of shit seems pretty identifiable. Like,
Right.
if you were to be walking through your house, and I know you don't have a cat, but if you saw a little shit on the ground, you'd know it was a cat shit. Even if you don't have a cat, you'd know your dog didn't do that. You'd know,
Right.
oh, that's fucking cat shit. Dog shit is also pretty identifiable. I have never farted or shit and it smelled like dog shit. But it doesn't matter if the dog is just a little fucking Shih Tzu or if it's a German Shepherd or if it's fucking some other little lab or something. All dog shit kind of smells the same.
Right. Yeah.
Cow shit has a distinct smell to it. Horse shit smells a little different, and you can tell the difference if you've ever been to a fucking one petting zoo. You got to go to one petting zoo, and you know the difference.
Oh, definitely. Cow shit's like a patty.
Yeah.
Horse shit is like logs of shit.
And human shit doesn't smell outside of the washroom. Like every now and then you'll dump one and you fucking smell it down the hall for a few minutes. Sure, like very rarely. But like
Yeah.
if I'm walking
Or you'll get double headshotted in the bathroom, but that's a story for another day.
We did that, man. If I was walking down the street and had to take a shit, I just decided to shit on the sidewalk. The next person to walk by 5 minutes later would not smell that. They would only see it. But if a dog shit on the ground and you didn't scoop it up and someone walks by 5 minutes later, you can still smell that dog shit.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, the worst smell that can come out of a dog, though, is so there's two different ones. If they eat shit and vomit it back up,
thanks.
It is in fucking sane. The smell is the most fucked up thing I've ever smelled in my life, worse than swamp ass.
Oh. There was
and then the second thing a dog can do, and it's the throw up smell is way worse than any dog shit that's ever existed. One of my dogs one time ate like half a fucking pound of uncooked rice, and the rice cooked in her stomach, and she threw it all up.
Oof.
I've never smelled anything like that in my life.
Oh, fuck. The worst smelling dog shit I've ever smelled was at an old roommate's girlfriend's brother's house. Riddle me that. He was also part of like the group of friends.
An old roommate.
So a former
girlfriend's
roommate.
brothers.
Yeah. So my former roommate.
You set me up for a joke right now?
No. So my former roommate when I lived in Ontario, he had a girlfriend. His girlfriend had a brother. All right. And we were all friends. So it was like, that was the connection anyway. We were he had a Great Dane, and like the most stereotypical one, like the one that's like kind of, I think they're called blue or whatever, but they're actually like gray, you know?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it was huge. It was already full grown. It probably named fucking Daisy or something stereotypical too.
Yeah.
And I remember one night that thing fucking had some sort of like soft serve shit, but it's shit in the house. I think it kind of like it was a sick shit. It wasn't like the dog because the dog was trained enough to know to go outside, but I think this one just kind of snuck up. So I wouldn't call it diarrhea, but it was definitely a lot of Mexican. You know what I mean? Like it was like on the scale of shits that goes from 1 to 7. I think it was probably like a fucking like a 3 or something. Like it was fucking clumpy and liquid, and being that big of a dog, it shits fucking huge, like massive, large amounts, like huge.
Dude, even like an 80-pound dog or like a 70-pound dog has the equivalent shit to like 180, 190-pound man. So 120, 130-pound dog has an equivalent shit of like a 300-pound man.
So there's the Bristol stool chart. That's what it's called. So there's 7 different types of shit that you can have.
Right.
You know what? I think I might have had this wrong. I said it was a 3. 3 is normal and healthier. This one was more of a 6, which is the definition: fluffy pieces with ragged edges, mushy. So there's 7 types of shit you can have, and I guess one is.
Give me the descriptors.
What?
Describe them all to me.
So this is a real medical chart. It's the Bristol stool chart, which I've known of. I just had the order of operation reversed.
Yeah.
So type 1, separate hard lumps like nuts, hard to pass. So those are the ones when you're a little dehydrated that kind of splash, bloop, 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 in the toilet. And then there's type 2, sausage shaped but lumpy. So that's a little like, that might have been like the day after drinking. You know what I mean? You drank a bunch of rum or something the night before. So it's like your body is dehydrated, but it's like not super bad. Type 3 is sausage shaped, but with cracks on surface. So that's probably the more normal of shits.
Yeah.
I would call that just a normal, healthy, good diet shit. And then there's type 4, sausage or snake-like, smooth and soft. So those are the ones that come out hot. You know when they like, you're kind of happy you have a bidet?
It's a spicy bum.
Yeah, basically that's that exactly. That's like you had some hot wings recently or just a bad diet, or you might have had some food that
you've been eating a little bit too greasy.
Bingo. Type 5 is soft blobs with clear-cut edges, easy to pass. So those are the ones that are like, they're the ones that kind of keep coming. And in my personal experiences, they're never alone. They usually follow up right after the type 4, which was the smooth and soft one. So usually the smooth and soft will come out, and then all of a sudden there'll be a bunch of extra, like a little bit of a follow-up,
Like a follow-up, like the encore.
Yeah, basically that's exactly it. Like if you need to do a courtesy flush in the middle, the follow-up after the courtesy flush is the type 5. So then number 6 was the one I was talking about, which is fluffy pieces with ragged edges and mushy. So that's like...
Wait, are you saying floppy or fluffy?
Fluffy, like soft.
Fluffy?
That's what the word is used.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Picture like, I'm trying to think, like, picture tapioca yogurt or pudding.
Okay.
It's like tapioca pudding, but with like mushed up berries in it. All right.
That's so fucking nasty.
Yes. So that's basically what it would be. Like that's when you hear about like soft serve ice cream. It's that consistency. Okay. Like picture you're at Dairy Queen.
Yep.
And then type 7 is watery, no solid pieces, entirely liquid, which is, I would call that diarrhea. Like that's where sharts are, and that's where you piss out your butt and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, there is no worse feeling than that. One day I was so violently hungover, like brutally hungover, that as I was drinking water, right? Because, you're just like pounding fluids all day.
Yep.
I was having to go to the bathroom so fast after. Might not have been hungover. I might have just been sick or something. But anyways, had brutal diarrhea. And I was like drinking cold water all day. And I would have to shit again so quick after consuming anything. When I would go to use the bathroom, when I would start shitting, it would come out cold.
Oh my God.
It was fucked. That's only ever happened to me once in my life. And it happened like 2 or 3 times in a row, like that day. And it was fucked. It was the most fucked thing I've ever experienced. Not the most fucked thing I've ever experienced, but it was up there. It was fucking weird.
Man, with a bidet, have you ever seen like, I don't know what it would be called, but it's like a very high pressured water spray that like cuts through shit? Cuts through like metal and all that?
What are they called? I think it's like a water...
Like a water saw sort of thing.
Yeah, 100%. I know exactly what you mean. I've seen them.
Yeah, I'm just missing the word for it right now. So sometimes when I'm really hungover and I've like, after me and you drink a little bit, and I usually drink a lot more because that's who I am. It's a character. I chose it, whatever. And we ate like a bunch of greasy pizza or something. When I'm shitting the next day, sometimes I have to have my bidet on full stream, spraying on my ass as the shit's coming out, just to like keep things like that way.
Keep lubricated.
Well, yes, and sometimes it's nice because it'll spray it hard enough that it'll like cut it in half, cut the log off. That way I can like I can have a minute of like puckering again to kind of like so my butthole's not fully
Brace
stretched.
yourself.
Yeah, I can exactly. I don't want it to be fully stretched out. It's imagine a baby being born, like a woman's giving birth, and you could like slice the baby in little chunks so that she could like preserve her labia for a little bit, so it's not as extended, you know?
That seems, man, imagine if they were just tying up a baby as it came out.
Yeah, but like you could put it back together so it's still like breathed and stuff after. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's like a build a baby.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious. Man, have you ever seen those water jet things work, like cutting alloy wheels and shit? They're insane.
Oh yeah, I've never seen it in person, but I've seen it on like videos. It's oddly satisfying to watch water go through stuff.
Oh my god, it's so fucking cool. You can't even conceive how water could ever have that much pressure to make like those precision cuts. Like I know erosion's a thing, obviously,
Yeah,
but
but that
erosion
takes
takes thousands
thousands
of
of
years.
years. Yeah,
Yeah,
like the
but
Grand
this is just
Canyon
like,
and shit.
man. I was watching something interesting today. I know you're very interested in the animal planet. Did you know there's been recent discoveries that saber-toothed tigers were alive a lot more recently than scientists had previously known?
When did they think that they were alive? I thought they were alive around Ice Age, like the same time as woolly mammoths and shit.
Yeah, so they think the last saber-toothed tigers were around 300,000 years ago.
Holy fuck, that's a long time. But that's kind of recent.
Well, now they've recently found a skull in, I believe it was in Russia or somewhere in Northern Europe, and they dated it to just 20,000 years ago.
That's really recent.
Really, really.
Did you know those things were fucking useless? Do you know those big teeth? Those teeth were
Yeah.
just intimidating looking, but they were fucking useless. They were brittle. They would break off really easy. They weren't like an attack method at all. They were just simply
Well-
intimidating.
But their thing is they had these crazy fucked up forearms,
Yeah.
the way they could hold shit.
Yep.
And that's what their big strength was. They could basically like rear naked choke animals.
That's fucked. I didn't realize they could do like they could bend quite like that. That's insane.
Yeah, but that's how they would grip big shit and pull it down.
That makes sense. 'Cause
Yeah.
They how big were they? Were they like if one was living and you put it beside an actual tiger, like a regular fucking tiger? How
It was bigger than a tiger, but I don't think substantially.
saber tooth tiger size. Give me an explanation here.
I think they were like around tigers or a little bit bigger.
Fuck, man. You know what? I'm not positive I've ever even seen a saber-toothed tiger like skeleton in a museum or anything.
They're a lot more condensed than you might think. Like they're not as long as tigers and lions. Like you know how they have like that big long cat body?
Yeah, this one doesn't. I'm looking at a reconstruction of it right now. And you know what's
Yeah.
fucking weird, man? I'm just
They
now,
almost look more like bears.
but like, well, yeah, they definitely do. I can see what you're saying there. You know what's fucked, man? I never really thought about what kind of fur they had. I always pictured them to look like a lion. You know how they're like lions are kind of that beige color or whatever, sandy.
Yeah. No, they were like spotted.
Yeah, I fucking retarded me. Never even thought about like what color they would look like because I think maybe I saw like a cartoon of one once and it was
Yeah.
all one color. So that's just like my brain always told me that's what it was. But why wouldn't it be striped or spotted? It's a fucking tiger. All tigers are striped or spotted, aren't they?
They're all striped, yeah. But it's funny because I find the spotting on them, like their spots almost look more like hyena coats.
Yeah, they do. I'm looking at a comparison right now. There's a black panther. I think they're not labeling them here, but I'm pretty sure it's a black panther, saber-toothed tiger, and then I'm guessing that's a Siberian tiger because it looks like a normal one, but it's just kind of big. And then it looks like some sort of like a lion, I'm guessing, but without the mane. I'm guessing it's just a female or whatever. And then probably a regular tiger. And the regular tiger is Bengal. I might have the saber or the Siberian and the Bengal mixed up though, so just be wary of that. They're both just orange and black striped. Fuck, it'd be nice if this picture was labeled.
Yeah, so the saber tooth was smaller than the tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Tigers are fucking huge, man.
They fucking are. You know what? I'm not sure I've ever seen one of them before, too. So they're like way bigger than lions, eh?
Tigers, yeah.
Like significantly larger?
Yeah.
Even like a
But
full grown lion is way bigger, huh?
so I think a big male lion, like a really big one,
Like a
is
Mufasa.
is like close in size to like a normal tiger,
Yeah.
but like a huge tiger is way bigger than a huge lion.
Tigers are the largest felines in the world and can reach up to 12.5 meters and like 12.5 feet. Why did my brain just say meters? It doesn't even say meters.
Meters. Can you imagine?
The word
that
meters
would be
is
like
not
a
even on the
Tyrannosaurus
screen.
Rex.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was like, what the fuck? And that includes the tail. So 12.5 feet in length, including the tail. Whoa, that's only twice of me.
That's a huge fucking animal.
I guess that is pretty long. I'm pretty tall, eh?
Dude,
and
just
up
think
to
if he stood up,
650 pounds.
if a tiger stood up on its hind legs, its head would probably be touching your ceiling.
Yeah. I have seen them stand up in videos and stuff and do those
They're
crazy jumps.
Huge.
So lions tend to be between 6.5 and 11 feet long. But that's mostly tail. Lions have a much longer tail.
Yeah, so tigers are significantly larger than lions.
So I guess it raises the question. If a tiger and a lion got in a fight.
Oh, dude. And we'll even go so far as to say that it's a normal male tiger and a big fucking male lion.
Tiger on
so they're kind of evenly matched size-wise.
I think the tigers also have larger claws, don't they? Like they have legit, like a lion's claws just for grabbing, but like I think tiger's claws are actually sharp.
Yeah, so I think the tiger has that fight. I think the tiger is going to be the better fighter.
Fuck, man. Like, is it like that bad of a thing? Does it make me that bad of a person to kind of want to like raise a bunch of animals healthily?
Let's see what happens.
And then put them in like one-on-one battles and like broadcast on the internet. There could be like betting on it and stuff. Just put it in like some offshore place so it was like legal,
Do you know what? I bet somewhere on the dark web that exists.
So I know that I saw maybe on YouTube, I saw a video of two animals that aren't supposed to see each other put in a cage together in like a zoo. They never really fought. Like they threw a couple strikes at each other, but then they just kind of like made a bunch of noise and just fucking decided they don't want to fight. So that what a dud that would be. Imagine selling it on pay-per-view, lion versus tiger, and all of a sudden they just fucking cuddle. Like,
well, have you seen somewhere in the States, in Atlanta, there was this drug dealer arrested, and he had a lion cub, a tiger cub, and a black bear cub.
Ooh.
And they were all like within a month or two old of each other, and they were all only like, I think they were like 4 months old, 5 months old or something.
Yeah.
And they were like chained in a basement together, all three of them, and they had always been together. So the place that rescued them, at first they tried to split them up, but then the animals became like super distressed and they kept them together. So now all three of them are like they're old animals now. Like they're all like 15, 16, like they're old ass animals, and they all still live together. A bear, tiger, and a lion.
So apparently they've actually fought before. There's literally an entire Wikipedia page dedicated. It's literally called Tiger versus Lion, and it spells the word versus instead of just like a VS,
Yeah.
And it looks like there's been like, it seems like they didn't fight. I'm trying to find when they actually fought. So it just seems like there's lots of opinions here. There was an article in the New York Sun that reported in a depopulated Indian village. So it looks like they actually did fight. They did a bunch of snarling and roared. Narrators suspected their hatred for each other may have been because they'd both been hunting at the same time. They scrambled a little bit and fell into some water and both said, fuck this, and kind of dipped, ran away. They both retreated from each other.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they never They never. I don't think a full scrap happened.
Has anybody ever put a grizzly bear and a gorilla together?
Oh God, I don't know. I really hope so. Like that would
Do
be
you?
the one. That's the main event.
Oh, do you think a gorilla? I think a gorilla or a grizzly bear takes out a lion or a tiger.
Um, I don't know, man. Cause like, do gorillas have that retard strength? You know what I mean? Like, do they have that? Because they have the tendency to, when they get hurt, they're like, okay, we're done. Like that's how they fight in the wild. When one gets hurt, they just kind of back down. It's not like a fight to the death.
Yeah, but I think if it's a life or death thing, it'll go ham.
Yeah. That's true. I also, now that I'm saying that, I've seen so many lions give up after like 2 attempts to take down a fucking wildebeest or
But
whatever.
so gorillas live in Africa. I wonder if a gorilla has ever encountered a lion or a top. No, tigers aren't in Africa.
Now they're like in Asia.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm telling you, we gotta find some really rich guy, and we gotta like put like a little fucking grab an island that's out in the middle of nowhere, put a bunch of animals there, and like just fucking settle the score. Broadcast it live on high speed internet in 4K. Gotta log in, you know, sell some ads.
Oh, totally. Yeah, big money, big money.
Yeah, I wonder you would want to promote it to the point where you have people like just hating on it. You know what I mean? Like that controversy would create cash for you.
Oh, definitely, dude.
Like
It
you
would be
want
huge
PETA
money.
stepping in, you want like Animal World Wildlife Foundations, you want
You
all of
want
them.
everyone trying to shut it down.
Yes, exactly. You want that, and it's gonna happen. Fucking
Oh,
right.
dude, can you imagine? Like, I just imagine it in more of a cartoon sense.
Hmm.
Well, like in between rounds, the gorilla coming back to the corner, and you're like massaging his shoulders, being like, "All right, man, we got to get in there."
So how about this?
Flip
Like,
the claws.
if we're not the ones putting this on, because we don't have a ton of money, we don't have an island, we don't have all the steps in between. But
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want this to happen, you need to promote this podcast fucking hard. We
let's
need you to
say
share it.
someone else has this idea out there that does have those resources, and
Richard Branson,
right, like someone like him or fucking Dan Bilzerian or something.
Musk,
Yeah,
Elon Musk.
and let's say that it's gonna happen, and it's like next week or whatever. Would you pay to subscribe to that channel to watch that shit go down that day? Like, would you
Yeah, I'd
actually
have
watch it?
to.
Yeah,
I'd have to.
I would fork over very hard-earned money to fucking put that to sleep and know that this is the winner. I would want to see obscure things like because the main card can't just be one fight. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be like 4 or 5 fights, and you've got to have an undercard where it's like no one really cares. Like if you put, I don't know, like a fucking like a handicap match, like 5 squirrels versus one fucking cat, like a house cat, you know?
Or it's like a thing. It's like a timer thing where you have, say, like 2 house cats, and there's like 5 squirrels and like 6 birds
Yeah.
and a couple of little geckos, and they all are assigned like a different point value, and which cat can have the most at the end.
Dude, it. That's exactly like that's how you get people's juices flowing. They get the betting going just to get warmed up, like, oh, $20 here, $5 there. And then when you get into the bigger fights, it's like, okay, I'm putting my fucking house on this line. I'm putting my fucking mortgage on the line here.
Oh yeah, like then you start building up bigger. So that would be like your opening thing. Let's build this card right now. So then maybe your next fight of the night would be
It's got to be something like a fucking, I don't know, like a painted dog versus a wolf or something.
no, the painted dog's too small.
What about
I
versus
do.
a coyote?
I have a fight with a wolf already lined up actually,
Okay.
but I think it's going to be a little bit further into the card. Yeah, you could do like, or more interesting, do a 5 painted dogs versus 2 wolves.
Ooh. What
Right?
if you like had like like an exhibition match where they both get fucked up. So what if it was like something ridiculous, like a fucking bull, like a rodeo bull,
Yeah.
but you somehow get it juiced up on like cocaine, and you
Yeah.
do the same fucking thing to a giraffe, like a giraffe versus a bull. What would
What
happen
would
there? Like,
happen?
yeah, because that would be that's an obscurely odd matchup. Like that's
Well,
extreme.
Here's my other one. I'm thinking one that I was going to do for a good heavyweight fight: hippopotamus versus a rhinoceros.
Yeah, that could be a sleeper, but you'd have to fucking give them a bunch of cortisone or something with a bunch
Yeah.
of adrenaline and energy.
Fire them up.
Yeah.
What I was going to say was a wolf, though. A wolf versus like a Rottweiler or a big Mastiff, like a super big, chunky, like strong dog protecting something versus the wolf, or like a Kangal or something, like a crazy protection dog.
Well, hold on a second here. Hippo versus rhino is a thing because they live in the same fucking area. Hippo versus
Do you think
rhino.
but one never comes out of the water,
No,
or rarely.
Yeah, they will at night. They only stay in the water because the sun burns them.
Oh.
Like they have unbelievably sensitive skin. That's why they're always like pink around the eyes and stuff, and they like to roll around in mud because
And covered in mud, yeah.
Yeah, they get extremely sunburned, so that's why they stay underwater. Oh my god, I think this is a photoshopped picture, but there's a picture of like a, oh my god, terrible power of wide-mouthed hippo, gnaw lion, crocodile. Oh fuck, I don't have time to watch a 10-minute video right now. Hippo learns lesson from rhinos. Ooh. So there they are. They're right side by side, a fucking rhino and a hippo. Oh, now they're looking
But I think they're
face
kinda
to face. They're face to face right now. The rhino is significantly larger. That looks like I can't see its mouth. I think it's a white rhino though. And this hippo is fucking mouth wide open. It's kind of roaring at him. I don't have sound because I'm not watching on my phone. I'm watching on a computer.
Do you think you would so the co-main event would probably be a lion and tiger,
Yeah.
and the main event would be the gorilla versus the bear?
Well, because that's an age-old question.
Right.
Everybody wants to know. But here's the thing. What if they just don't want to fight each other?
That could very well happen. Well, the environment to which they are fighting in would have to be set up as some kind of natural environment, I think, as you said, where they kind of both just stumble upon each other.
Yeah. I think it would have to be, like, you'd have to, like, the stars have to align pretty darn well. They both have to be hungry and in a bad mood, you know, and meet each other without getting to see each other through the cage first. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have two cages side by side and lift the doors at once because then they get to see each other first. It's got to be like they got to spook each other, like walk around the corner and whoa, what the fuck are you? You know? Like, have you ever seen that video of that guy that went to walk around the corner of his house to like throw the trash out or whatever, and a fucking bear walked around the corner at the same time and they scared the hell out of each other? So the guy like jumped and fucking ran, and the bear like fucking jumped and ran the other way too. Like they scared the hell out of each other.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, I remember it went viral there like 5 or 6 years ago or something, like a while back now anyway.
Did you see the one going around recently where the lynx attacks misses and then her husband punches it?
Yeah, we spoke with this like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, fuck. Because then there's also the one where a kangaroo puts a guy's dog in a headlock and Buddy walks up and
just
fucking
punches the kangaroo. Just stood there staring at him like, that wasn't supposed to happen.
Yes, man. The guy just decks the fucking kangaroo in the
and then
face.
like throws his hand in the air like, get the fuck out of here. You know, okay, buddy. Like if this kangaroo wanted to.
Yeah, I like. It's like the kangaroo was so fucked up by it that he was just like, I'm just gonna head out. That was fucked up.
The kangaroo stood there for a minute too, just looking at him like, what the fuck? But like the dude hit him with such a good hook that the kangaroo's head like half turned around, like, ooh, what? The fuck was that? Like, think about how often a kangaroo would get legitimately punched. That's not a thing for them. Like they're kind of violent animals, but they don't punch like the cartoons. You know, they fucking grab a hold and they kind of jump up and kick you. You know,
and they're kind of like, you know, kangaroos are a bit alpha. Like a big kangaroo like that, there's no other animals fucking with it.
No, they're the most horrifying.
That's why there's
thing
such
to
a
see.
problem down there.
Oh yeah, they are actually a problem. There's a huge fence that goes across half of fucking Australia, but it's to keep dingoes out.
Yeah, they're the dingo ate your baby.
Dude, what about a
They're
dingo versus like a painted dog? Where's the dingo?
that would be a good fight. That's a legit fight.
Yeah?
That's a good featherweight fight.
Ooh, how big are dingoes?
I'd imagine they're like 40, 45 pounds.
Dingo size. Dingo, 10 to 20 kilograms, whatever that means.
20 kilograms, so
Oh, fuck, that's what a dingo
2.2
looks like?
pounds in a kilogram.
Dude, they just look like a fucking, like a lab with sharper teeth. No, they don't actually at all. They have a much slender body.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. So how does that math work out? Kilograms to pounds?
So a 20 kilogram dingo would probably be like, what, 48 pounds? That would be like a big dingo.
kg to lbs. 44 pounds.
44, yeah. I was a little bit off.
So what about a coyote? What's bigger, a dingo or a coyote?
They're probably very close in size.
Yeah, a coyote is about 21 kilograms, so bang on, yeah.
Yeah. And then a painted dog would be a bit bigger than both of them. Painted dog is like 50, 55 pounds.
Painted dog size. 22 kilograms.
Yeah.
So a little bigger, yeah. No shit.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Tasmanian devil. Where does that fucking get on the card?
Versus a badger.
Badger's big, though? How big are Tasmanian? Oh, fuck, man. This is just turning into me looking up animal sizes. Tasmanian.
Well, we got to make sure we have appropriate weight classes.
Yeah, of course. So a Tasmanian devil size.
I think they're only little fuckers.
8 kilograms.
Oh, yeah.
8
Man,
kilograms?
I don't know, though. A badger might not be much bigger than that.
Badger size. A badger, 9 kilograms, 9 to 16 kilograms for a honey badger.
That's doable. Badgers are fucking savage, though.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that's wild, man. I didn't know fucking Tasmanian devils were even real. I thought that was just that fucking thing from Looney Tunes. It doesn't look at all like the fucking cartoon. I thought it was basically just a giant face with little arms and legs and a huge mouth, This thing doesn't even look like it spins into a tornado.
Taz, when you think about it, was so fucking weird.
Yeah. Because like all the other animals in Looney Tunes look like what they resemble, but this one's just wrong. Taz isn't looking like this at all. He's not even the right color.
No, Taz is just a mouse.
He has just a huge mouth. And this thing doesn't look like it's going to spin in circles either.
No.
What is a fucking Tasmanian devil anyway? Is it a marsupial? I think marsupials are like kangaroos and stuff, aren't they?
Yeah, marsupials are the ones that have pouches, aren't they?
I think so. It's Animalia Cordobanos class.
I don't know though, man. If you just Google
it is a
Tasmanian
marsupial
devil and go into images,
yeah,
they are just kind of a mouse.
They're just not the ones I'm looking at. They look like they have a lot of. They look like a large rat.
Yeah, but like, do you see the ones where their mouths are open?
Yeah, from the front they do.
I can see where Taz comes from that.
Holy fuck. Those things are hideous, man. Like, I don't think there's a world where one of these is, this one looks confused and that's kind of cute. There goes my theory. Never mind. I don't know. I'm looking at a side-by-side of, like, the Looney Tunes Tasmanian devil versus, like, a... Wow, man. They fucked up this one bad. But then again, look at Bugs Bunny's long arms and legs. Like, my whole childhood's lying to me now.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, fuck.
Kurt?
I think your phone just cut out. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, there you are. Yeah, it seems like the phone cut out there for a sec.
Oh.
Yeah, anyway, it's been a fucking hour. See you guys later.
We're going to put on an animal card. We're going to be sponsored by Richard Branson. It's going to be great.
Fuck, man.
Dudes talking shit, animals, fight night.
Oh, dude, I literally would love to be able to fucking do this. I wouldn't even feel bad about a fucking moose versus a camel either, you know?
Oh, that'd be another good one.
So
the heavyweight from the north versus the beast of the east.
So basically, we figured out this isn't a one-off. This will be like like at least an annual
series.
showdown.
100%.
This will
There's
be like
always different fights to be had.
Animania or something.
Anaconda versus a gator.
Yeah, I wonder what would happen there too, because the gator has way more tools, but the anaconda.
Let's figure it out, baby.
Yeah, I don't know how that would play out. Oh, this one has a growth on the side of it. I'm still looking at Tasmanian devils.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
You saw that one with the growth on it?
Yeah.
So you scrolled kind of far too, eh?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's been Dudes Talking Shit episode 54. You can find us on Instagram at Dudes Talking Shit. You can find Ryan on Instagram at Drunk Ryan and Travis on Instagram at
TFan23.
Send them your booty hole pictures.
Later, shitheads.